Welcome back to the Blue Chip Breakdown, Vols fans. We're your hosts, Bull and Paris, and today we've got a lot to get to. We're going to talk about the 865 Live, and we're also going to talk about these doggone dogs out here, probably about to get caught up in a little bit of a cheating scandal.
Yes,
got some rumors out here in Georgia, so could be great news for all Tennessee fans, but we're going to get to that a little bit later. I wanted to start it off with Dijon Terry and him leaving and what that's going to mean to this team.
I mean, I think that's a big loss. I think he's a guy. Look at the interior of that defensive line. You had Big O, and it was Dijon Terry. I mean, those are the two guys. So losing him, I mean, I think that's huge. He's a guy didn't start playing football till I believe he was a junior or senior in high school. So didn't have much experience. He still gets a scholarship to go play for Kansas. Plays there for 1 year, then comes down to Tennessee, and was really starting to kind of tap into his full potential. Really starting to realize how strong he is, how to use his strength, his body, his big, long arms. And so losing him, definitely going to miss him. Don't really have another really true run stopper besides Elijah Simmons, who's going to have to grow up and be ready to step up this year. But you have faith in Rodney Gardner as a D-line coach to get the next guy ready to go play. So, not too worried, but definitely hate to lose him.
Absolutely. And then, too, I think that David Hobbs is a guy that might be able to step in to that tackle role. I know that he came in as an end, but, I mean, he really kind of his build and his skill set to me just fits a little bit better at tackle. I think he has a higher ceiling there. So maybe that's kind of a good thing. It might push him to maybe get ready faster. Not that he wouldn't have necessarily before, but I think that now there's got to be a much higher sense of urgency just because we don't have as many bodies. Obviously, we do also have Omar Norman-Lott, who, to me, he's a lot more of like a pass rushing tackle. It's definitely not a run stopping tackle. We've also got Nathan Robinson. I think that Nathan Robinson, he's another guy that could step into a tackle role. Trevor Duncan could also step into that role as well now that Terry has left. I think that they really wanted to play him on the offensive side of the football. So I think now they might give him a shot there. So it does definitely probably shake up a couple things with the depth chart and with the roster for sure.
Yeah. I definitely think so. And like I said, I mean, we got Bryson Eason, we got Elijah Simmons. I think Elijah Simmons, you go back, watch spring game. I mean, it's kind of the same story we've been seeing. Whenever he shows up and plays, nobody moves him. He doesn't get moved. He can be disruptive. It's just the consistency. And I think to be able to step in, to fill in for Terry, he's got to be more consistent and do it every single snap. So we'll see if he grows up this year, but that's definitely something we'll be watching early on.
Yeah, for sure. But, on a more positive note, we did pick up two big players, one in the 2023 class and the other in the 2024 class. What's the
Emmanuel Okoye?
Yeah, so I've heard some people say that he's probably going to be playing tight end for us, but I just think that he fits in a lot better playing on the defensive side of the football. When you think about it, I mean, he's barely played football. Well, he's played for less than like 10 months or something like that. His level of competition wasn't great by any means. So to be able to play on the offensive side of the football, it's a lot more of a football IQ that goes into that. And it's not as natural as playing on defense when you can more or less hunt.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, football, I mean, when you play on offense, I mean, in addition to learning the different routes you got to run, reading different coverages, who to block, leverage, all that stuff, you got to know how to catch the ball too. And I think that's something that just watching a few of the clips we've seen doesn't look like it's supernatural to him.
Not at all.
So that's a whole nother learning curve. You want him to be able to catch at an elite level, play tight end. So, I mean, I'm not saying he couldn't do it. We know he's a great athlete.
It's just going to take longer for him to learn how to.
Exactly.
It's just going to take him a lot longer. I think we all look at him right now and say he's going to at least need 1 year in college system to get caught up, and maybe not even fully. But I was thinking playing defensive end, he was going to need at least 1 year to learn how to play football.
Yeah, at least be situational. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, for you to at least be able to throw him in there when you know that he's just going to be hunting. Right. But, now you're talking about putting him on the offensive side of the ball. I'm thinking that's more like a 2 to 3 year deal.
Yeah. Especially in our scheme, we go fast. We're not subbing.
Yeah, I mean, you have to know what you're. And I'm not saying that our coaches can't coach that and that he can't learn it. It's just if you just start playing football, that's a lot to pick up. That is a lot.
Yeah, his path to the field is definitely quicker on defense. And I mean, and he has first round ability. I mean, we've seen with the numbers he puts up, he would have broke like two combine records.
45.5 inch vertical.
Yeah, and then I think he had like 11.3 in the broad, which would have been records for DNs or whatever. So I mean, he's got the physical upside, so just learn the game. Super
Yeah.
excited about him. Glad to reclassified, get him up there early.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I think he'll eventually move over to defense if he's not starting there.
I think so too, and I also think that Terry leaving plays into that as well because you have to start moving some bodies around, and you got to fill in some holes. We also picked up Peyton Lewis, 2024 running back, 6'1", 190 pounds, is what he's listed at on 24/7 Sports, and he's a track guy, so he's got top level speed.
Yeah.
And he's just, to me, he's a prototype running back. Puts me in mind of like a Arian Foster. It's just got that smooth, very balanced with everything.
Yeah.
He has great balance. He's got good feet. He has great vision.
Yeah.
He's a strong runner, keeps his feet moving. I mean, what do you think about him?
Yeah, I mean, you hitting on the head. I mean, all the things you said, number one thing that pops out is his speed.
Yeah.
I think it was a 6'5" guy in the 55 meter, which is blazing. And I think a 10.5 and 100.
I think he was actually. I think he was a 6'3" in the 55.
Oh, 6'3", wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's blazing. I mean, that translates to like a 4.3, maybe even sub 4.3. So I mean, you're super excited about him. He has good size.
Yes,
6'1", 190.
Prototype size.
Prototype size. You figure he'll add about 10, 15, 20 pounds pretty easily. Be playing
easy,
about 210, 215 his freshman year, and hopefully can keep that same speed.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at him, Cam Seldon. I mean, Khalifa Keith. I mean, you like the future of that running back room, especially losing, because you got to figure, we're going to lose Jabari Small and Jalen Wright.
And Jalen Wright's going to.
So then who's left? You got Dylan Sampson, you got Cam Seldon, got the young guys. So, I think it's huge adding him, man. I cannot wait to see how he fits into this offense.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. Again, that running back room is looking really good. This is as good as I think it's been. Or I'd say since like the early 2000s. You're like right there at the end of Farmer's run. I would say.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been this deep.
Yeah.
Probably since then.
Yeah, a long time.
And now we're also starting to get these bigger body guys. We're getting bigger body guys that can also move. So, and that was something that we've been calling for, especially last season. You got those light boxes, you get those big bodies in there that can also move.
Yep.
You're not going to get those light boxes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're going to need 2 or 3 to bring our guys down. So
so teams will always try to stop the run game first. So, that's going to create a lot of mismatches on the outside, especially, for Nico and his whole bunch coming up. I mean,
it's looking great. But kind of going off of that, too, is look, Cam Seldon, kind of a receiver, running back hybrid.
Yeah.
I think Peyton Lewis fits that, too. He has good hands at the backfield.
He does.
His speed. I mean, you split these guys out. I was watching the spring game earlier today. We come out in 11 personnel as our primary, personnel.
Yeah.
But then we'll take the running back and spread them out wide. We go empty. When you have a Cam Seldon or a Peyton Lewis, that's like you literally have 5 receivers out there.
Mismatches all day long.
So super excited.
You can create a lot of mismatches with that. So that's huge. Now, so let's go ahead and jump into this 865 Live. Sounds like we did a really good job courting these young players and this young talent. I don't know what it is with these scavenger hunts lately, but I heard that like Georgia did that same thing. So I guess it's just like a common theme, but the kids seem to love it.
Yeah.
So, just looking at, I guess, the needs of this team, I would say that the first need is going to be offensive line. I think, we need to get an offensive line in every single class, but especially at tackle. And, when you look at Dante Calhoun, I don't know how much of a chance we realistically have at him, but I mean, we were just watching his film and
he looks the part.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, what did come in about 6? What is it, 6'6" and a half?
Yep. So he's about 6'7". I think he was listed at like 355 or something astronomical like that. And he can move. He looks good pulling. Gets up to the second level grade. He's got that dog, got that nasty, and he's from Georgia, right off of 75. That area, if y'all Vol fans don't know, that's an area that will consistently get Tennessee players. I don't know. I guess it's just because it's right off 75, so it's an easy way to get up to Tennessee. A lot of Tennessee fans in that area, right there in Cobb County.
Yep.
I think that we got a shot to be able to get.
That'd be huge, man. He's just what we need, man. We need those big body guys. Like I love hearing about these 6'6", 350-pound guys. Like when we go play these Georgias, these Bamas, I want guys I know can move their guys. You know what I mean? Having guys that are that big, and you watch his film. Not only is he big, he's not big and sloppy, big and slow.
Yeah,
he's got good stance. Can bend, fires off quick, good hands, good punch, plays nasty, plays to the whistle. I mean, he looks like just the type of guy we need. So, I think it's between us, Georgia, Bama. which, you know, when you compete with those teams, you know, you're competing for some high quality talent. So we got to win our fair share of those battles. Hopefully we can start with this guy here.
Yep, for sure. And so next guy is Cameron Fountain. Obviously, always about front seven. So I feel like every single year we need to go after offensive tackles and we need to go after pass rushers.
Yep.
You know, you got to do that every single year, and then you know, work back to the inside of my mind. But Cameron Franklin, I think he's a guy who can definitely fill that void for not that we have a void there, but I think that he could definitely fit in well with the rotation and you know what Coach G likes to do.
Yeah, we love his film. He's another, you know, high athletic profile. Things about 6'5.5", you know, 240
pounds. Yeah,
I mean, you can't coach that. And you know, we watch him playing offense. He can run. I mean, looks like a 4.4 guy. You know what I mean?
That was actually like a blocked punt or something like that.
Okay.
And so he was able to scoop it up, and you see him running down on the sidelines there. But he, honestly speaking, now he does look like he could have more of an upside playing tight end than D end. He's going to be great in both places. But he's a guy that you could daggone put over there and throw the freaking football to him.
Yeah,
he's one of those types of athletes.
Super athlete. Yeah. So hopefully we can land him too.
Yeah. So we'll see how that plays out. And then next guy, this is an in-state kid, and we really need him, Edwin Spillman. So obviously, you know, with his brother should be on campus now. I think that everyone I think the classes and everything starts like next week or starts this coming up week.
Okay.
So Edwin Spillman is a phenomenal linebacker. So just to go along with all the great linebackers that we got in the 2023 class, we keep that going and we add that depth. He's a guy that even could, you know, maybe potentially work into like a starting rotation, maybe. If not, he definitely could rotate, I think, early.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's similar to an Aaron Carter with his athletic profile.
Yeah.
Just a guy that comes in, I mean, could play, you know, almost like a kid who could play running back in high school. Like they have that same kind of athleticism, that quick twitch, this ability to kind of read defenses and, you know, kind of read the running back's body language. Helps them beat the running back to the hole. Like you see those similar traits in these guys. You know, big hitters, thumpers. I think he fits in exactly with the type of, you know, scheme we run, which is aggressive, you know, high flying. It's kind of like these guys be athletes, man. I think he fits in. So it's exciting to see this defense continue to build up. I don't think it's crazy to say our defense is going to be really, really good here in the next couple of years. Like we'll have one of the top in the country, I think.
Especially, you know, again, when you look at the types of players that he's getting in, they're underrated players, but they're phenomenal athletes. And usually what you see is a lot of teams start to kind of come at them later in their process. It's like teams tend to overlook them. So these guys have that chip on their shoulder, and they're just straight dogs. And we got a lot of great players coming in. Now, I don't know for sure if Edwin is actually going to come. He is looking around. I think Michigan is the team that he's looking at. But, I mean, I just find it hard to believe that he wouldn't want to come and play with his brother. You know what I'm saying?
And something he said to comment thing about Caleb Herring and Elijah Herring. You know, they're brothers, and just how close they were. I think they're the same exact situation. Elijah was a senior. Caleb was a junior. And so, you know, they asked Edwin about, you know, how's it going to be not having your brother around for a year? And he's talking about how hard it's going to be. And just that, you know, he's going to want him around. So, I mean, I kind of got a feeling that he's going to want to play with his brother and get back up there and have that comfort zone. So, you know, I think that factors in our favor as well.
For sure. Yeah, and then too, you know what? Sometimes with these kids, you can kind of hear them slip up. But they were asking him, you know, how big is it for you to talk to some of these future vol players and stuff like. So Edwin said, well, you know, those are the guys who I'm going to be playing with. So you know, he kind of slipped up and said it. Then he kind of came back and tried to fix it. So I mean, obviously, man, look, that would be huge. All of Vol Nation wants you, Edwin. We would love to have you. We have to have you. In my mind, you're on the top of the list of players that we absolutely have to have. So hopefully we can close that deal. Let's talk about another linebacker though, Sammy Brown. So coming back down to coming back to these Georgia kids, right? Sammy Brown, he said that we're even right now with Georgia. I don't know how true that realistically is. So we do have a little bit of a like inside, maybe like more insight to some of these guys, because obviously living in Georgia, like most of these kids live right down the street from us. So we know most of these guys, or know their family, know their coaches. He's like Georgia or Clemson, and that's what it's been from like Jump Street. But just me personally, after listening to him talk over the weekend, I think that he actually seriously is considering us now. I think that we did move up for him.
He might be. It's tough to tell some of these recruits. You can't always take what they say at face value.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm just thinking about seeing him with You saw Georgia had that like little. It was Dylan Raiola and a couple of the receivers
Yeah.
met up there and had like a little toss around, throwing the ball, whatever. He was up there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. To me, just in my heart, I just feel like he's a Georgia lean.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if we get him.
Yeah.
And I just feel like when he's saying the good things about us, it's kind of smoke and mirrors a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of political speak, if you will. But I mean, hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong because I think he is a good athlete.
Yeah,
he'd be nice to add.
It would be cool for this class to be able to add him.
Yeah.
Do we need him though? Honestly speaking,
so.
I mean, I really don't feel like we need him.
Yeah.
Because just us talking, I think Edwin Spillman's better than him.
I
think Edwin Spillman is going to be a lot better than him. He is a good athlete. You also have to keep in mind that the classification that he's playing in is like one of the worst in Georgia. I don't know. He doesn't really flash or pop too much to me. Yeah. He's a big kid. He's a good athlete. I'm not trying to talk bad about him. Let's just be honest. If we don't get him, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, it's definitely not. So next guy, we're going to go back to Tennessee with Boo Carter. I guess that Tennessee wants him to play corner or safety.
Corner, safety, a DB.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like. Yeah, they had him with the DBs like during the
during the 865 Live thing.
Yeah,
he was with Coach Martinez.
So, I guess I get that. I mean, we're still trying to, get more athletic in the secondary. We are losing some guys.
Yeah.
So we are going to be young there next season. So, I understand that. I mean, I really like him on offense. I think he fits into that mold of the Cam Seldons, the Peyton Lewises, the guys who can do it all.
I think he has a higher ceiling on offense.
I think so too. Almost a Percy Harvin type. Not to get too crazy, but I mean, he has that same kind of twitch about him. So,
he does. He is a playmaker. He's got great vision, great balance.
Yeah, but he's good on defense too. If you watch his highlights, he's a great athlete. So.
Yeah, he is. I just, whenever I was watching his film, I said, well, he's just really raw playing on defense. He has a lot to learn. Now, his learning curve isn't that steep. I think he could definitely pick it up, but I don't see him being a guy that's going to help us as a freshman.
Yeah,
I think he's going to need at least a whole full year of playing on defense consistently before he's going to be able to play in the SEC.
Yeah, I hear you there. It's just kind of, I don't know where they'd use him on offense. I mean, would he be a slot? Would he be a running back? We like our running back room. We can always kind of add one more, I guess. We got Squirrel on the slot. Who else is in the slot?
That is the thing. I mean, we are so deep there, but I mean, I look at him as a specialist. Kickoff return, punt return. I see him being one of those guys that. Not that that's the only place that he would play, but I think he can fit in there well. And then I also think, again, kind of like what you were saying, you put him out at slot, put him at running back. You can have little gadget plays for him. So maybe that's why they want to put him on defense, is because we need more help there. But I just think, it's going to take him a little bit longer to be able to play on defense.
Yeah, I agree. But, hopefully we land him. You can never have too much talent.
Yeah, you can never have too much talent. And if anybody knows how to use talent, it's Josh Heupel.
Yeah.
He will find a way to get the most out of all of his players. He's been doing that consistently. I'm just super, super proud, man. I'm so proud, so happy to have such a phenomenal coach.
Yeah.
I think that right now we have. I can't say that he's the best, but if Saban is one, I'm going to put Heupel as 1A.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, if you look at the talent level of what he's had and what he's done with it, I mean, nobody else is doing this.
Yeah, nobody's doing that. And a lot of these guys are going to come here and say, oh, hey, I'm going to jump over Kirby Smart. Well, here's the deal. You give any coach in the SEC that roster, tell me who's not going to go win that championship. I mean, who's not going to do it? You have 5 stars at every position, 3-4 deep.
Yeah.
Of course you're going to win it all. You know what I mean?
So, and then literally, like, Georgia had more 5 stars on their roster last year than anybody else in the entire country. So, I mean, like, how don't you win national championships? And they're not doing nothing special.
Yeah.
They're just lining up and playing football. Yeah, they're not doing nothing special. There's nothing special about what they do. It's going to be even worse this season. When you look at Mike Bobo coming in as the offensive coordinator, it's going to be hand the ball off, play action, dump it off to the, tight ends. It's just going to be, out routes, chair routes, stuff like it's going to be basic 3-step drop, 5-step drop. There's not going to be any wrinkle to it. Yeah. And they will do well because they have that talent. But once Tennessee gets that talent back, if Florida ever comes back up, it's going to be a really big problem. And now with this new schedule, they're going to have to see some of those guys from the West anyway. Georgia's about to be going way downhill.
Yeah, I think so. And this kind of touched on that too. You talk about adding Hugh Freeze to a game they got to play every year. Oh, my
goodness, yes.
So, I mean, and he hates Georgia. He's going to beat those guys. I mean, here's the thing. It's a big talent gap, so I'm not going to necessarily call that. But I think over time
it's going to take him some
that.
time, but he's gonna get players in fast. I promise you that. Auburn's going to put money into their program all the time. So, and let's just call it what it is. Coach Freeze is a money guy. He's a he knows how to how to hand out that money under the table. So he's definitely going to get talent in there, and that's just good for us.
Yeah,
because whoever can beat Georgia, I don't care if Georgia's good or if they're bad. Whenever they lose, it's a great day for me.
It's a great day for me.
It's a great day for me.
Great day. So more of that to come.
Yep. And so speaking of Georgia, we are in a close battle with this young man right here, Mr. Jefferson.
Mar Jefferson.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time receiver. Where is he? Is he from Nashville? Or
he's from Chattanooga.
Chattanooga,
I think. Yeah.
Big time guy. I mean, he's another piece we love to be able to add
for sure.
Because it was between us, Bama, Georgia. So that you want to win as many of those battles as you can.
Yeah.
He's a guy. Do I think he's a guy we need to get? I don't necessarily say that. Hey, listen to Austin Price. He has a different story, and I think that's more so just. You want to keep those in-state ties. You know what I mean? Continue to do that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, he's a guy. I think he's already committed to us for baseball.
Yeah, he is.
Which, I'm finding it hard to believe he's not going to commit football too. But, we'll see. He seems to like us, so we'll see how it finishes up.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, if you really genuinely want to play baseball and football, why would you go to Georgia? Because Georgia's baseball team is horrible.
Yeah, they're a one-sport school. And I think they might be good at gymnastics. So maybe
like
that.
Yeah, but I don't know. But it does seem like he's kind of leaning there. And it could be because Georgia is doing things like supposedly rumor mill. Rumor has it down here, and we've got it from some pretty solid sources.
Yeah, pretty good authority.
That Georgia got Dylan Raiola a house out in Gainesville, Georgia.
Death penalty.
I mean that hey, listen, I'm not saying that they did it. Okay, I'm just telling y'all what we've heard. Right? We are just don't shoot the messenger,
ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
This is just what we heard.
This is what we heard.
Okay, so we'll see how things play out. But supposedly, he has already signed up for Gainesville's school, so he's going to be going to Gainesville in the fall. Haven't seen or heard anybody else talking about this.
Yeah, I mean that's huge news because this kid's coming from Phoenix, Arizona. Coming clear across the country on a whim's notice.
Yeah,
has a house, has a school.
Probably has a house right off of the lake. There's a big lake out there in Gainesville. Maybe it's got one of those big old mansions right there off of the lake.
Yeah.
It's about it's probably about 45 minutes from Athens, something like that. I mean, it just seems very convenient.
Yeah, something's fishy here.
Something seems like it could be up. I don't know.
Hey, let's put those guys under a microscope. Let's look at all the text messages, look at all the documents, make sure everything's above board.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Is it going to hurt anybody for the NCAA to kind of just make sure that these guys are playing fair ball?
Go snooping around.
Yeah, let's make sure that they're playing fair.
We just want a fair game.
Yeah, that's all. His dad did play in the NFL, so could they have done it?
Yeah, it's possible.
It is
possible they couldn't have done it. So let's investigate and find out. Get to the bottom of it.
Well, hey, listen. There's always a paper trail, isn't there?
Hey.
There's always a paper trail. So let's just see. But I mean, obviously it's still kind of early with that. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
If Dylan and his family say anything about actually moving to Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
If they are down here, I'm gonna tell y'all, man, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah,
the NCAA needs to look into this because Georgia's been cheating for years, and we know that from living here. Okay. Yeah. Now everybody probably cheats a little bit, but Georgia's been going overboard with it. There's no reason that they had stocked up all these 5 stars, and so something probably needs to be done, and we'll see how the whole thing plays out. Also, too, just on some kind of like lighter-hearted news, while we're talking about quarterbacks. I don't know if y'all saw this, but Joe Milton threw the ball. What was it? 82 or was it 86 yards?
Something, I don't know. You couldn't really tell. Threw from a 20 and hit somewhere in the end.
Yeah. He's throwing it over 80 yards. I was a little bit underwhelmed with that.
I was too. I don't know. I did not expect him to put that much effort into an 80-yard throw.
Well, now it actually didn't look like he put too much effort into it. I think he just kind of like threw it up. Just kind of wanted to see where it's going to go. I'm thinking he's really more of a 95 yard.
Yeah, that's guy. What he said. That's what he said, and I believe I'll take his word for it. But he looks great out there throwing it, man. Slings it. I mean, beautiful. 85 yard.
Unreal.
Yeah, he's
unreal.
and then they show him in the office throwing it. the guy says, "Let's see one more fastball."
Woo!
He freaking almost throws a hole through that guy's chest.
Yeah, and literally, so I saw that video. I looked at some of the comments. People are like, oh, he wasn't accurate from 10 yards away. He intentionally threw it off target because he doesn't want to kill this
guy.
Yeah, I mean, you can't throw it right at somebody's face like that. So
Yeah.
he threw it off target. He threw it in the perfect spot. So
Yeah.
accuracy looks great. Arm strength is unbelievable. We've got playmakers that can go out there and get that football. Squirrel White. This is something else too that I've been dying to talk about this. Dante Thornton is he's supposed to be playing in the slot. Why don't we just move him out to one of the other wide receiver positions and then keep Squirrel there in the slot? And the only reason I'm saying that is because Squirrel is probably the fastest player in all of college football.
Yeah.
Probably one of the fastest. I mean, he's definitely one of the fastest players in all of football, period.
Yeah. 23.6 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you can throw, I mean, because Joe Milton's got that cannon.
Yeah.
You can stretch the entire field out. Literally, we know you can throw it over 80 yards. We could be at we'll just call it the 35. and let Squirrel run deep. I mean, dude, you can't cover everybody.
Yeah.
So,
I've been saying the same thing, and I think they will, but that's kind of why I've been talking about I'd love to see us somehow go 4 wide receiver sets.
Yeah.
Because I think Ramel Keaton does deserve a shot.
Oh, absolutely.
He's been so consistent. You know what I mean? He is reliable. Like, I don't know. Like
we've got a lot of guys.
We do. We got a bunch of guys, man. Just with our tempo, that's my only kind of knock on what we do is our tempo. We don't really sub. So kind of what we start the drive with is kind of what we're gonna go with. So, how do we go 4 wide receiver sets, but still feel confident in the run game? I don't know. I'm sure Heupel and Housley can figure it out.
They can definitely figure it out.
But I would love to see us go 4 wide, man. That'd be huge.
Yeah. All right. So that's gonna be it for this one. Thank y'all as always for tuning into the channel. Hey, y'all, make sure to like. Join this channel. We've got a lot more content coming out. Got a lot of good things to talk about. Anytime that we get any type of a inside source on something, we will make sure to bring it here to y'all first. And we'll see y'all next week. Thanks. Peace.